Yo, Caspian, so I have some news. All right, this is actually crazy. So first off, CZ owns how much percent of the supply? CZ owns approximately 64% of the circulating BNB supply. What in the world? So let's do the quick math. 94 million times 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 times 1,000, because the price is 1,000. This is how much CZ has in like dollars worth of BNB. You can't even count it up. It's basically, all right, so we got a million here. He doesn't just own 1 billion. He owns $100 billion of BNB. $100 billion. I thought this was a billion. No, this is $100 billion of BNB that CZ owns, and he's trying to like play it low. He's trying to play it like he's just one of us in the trenches. Man, he owns $100 billion. So of course, obviously, he doesn't want that to be at risk. He wants to keep that money. Of course, he's not going to be able to sell that immediately and cash that out for Kaspa. That's not how. There's not that type of liquidity. So of course, he's trying to keep Kaspa hidden. It just makes sense. Like Kaspa is obviously so much better than BNB, so much better than all of crypto to be exact. But I mean, when you have so much money tied up to another project, you can't just fund your own project. If you can't buy $100 billion worth of Kaspa on spot price, you just can't without shooting it up to like $100. Like you can't buy that much Kaspa. All right, so he can't sell this much BNB. First off, he can't buy that much Kaspa, so he's stuck. And basically, the only route going forward is for him just to keep doubling down on BNB and just focusing on that, focusing on his little casino, his gambling casino of every other meme coin that pops up, just like for traders to get wrecked on, because just they have to pay what, like 3% of their own supply, and along with all this fees. Oh, it's not going to Binance, but it's going to be airdropped to other holders on Binance. So of course, Binance is a huge entity. It's the largest crypto entity in the industry, the largest. So whenever they cross the line, they rather to pay the fee, ask for forgiveness later, than to ask for permission up front. They're too big to take down. They're too big to fail. And Kaspa's going to go on without them. Kaspa represents, and Kaspa can go on without them because we already see others doing the same. All right, Monero, for example, this is like basically a privacy chain. Nothing crazy. It doesn't really scale. It has its own issues, but it's all about privacy. All right, privacy is absolutely coming to Kaspa. This is not going to be any issue. When you have the speed, security, and decentralization of Kaspa, you can build anything on it. On vprogs, you can do literally anything. You're going to be able to build Zcash on Kaspa 750 times more scalable though. So all right, so we're whatever. The privacy is having a little run right now. Good. Kaspa is undervalued. The market doesn't price it in yet. It's fine. Our time's coming for Kaspa without any doubt. Obviously, it's going to come. It's the leading technology. It's going to be able to build everything, have everything built on it. Great. But Monero is not listed on Binance. Okay, so they're able to do all of this with the exchanges that Kaspa is also on. Look, Kraken, Qcoin, XT. I don't know. That's probably one Kaspa's on. HTX. I think Kaspa might be on that. Maybe not. Mexi. Yeah, Qcoin. I've already said that. So yeah, all these exchanges, basically Kraken, Qcoin, Mexi. Those are probably like the biggest ones. I think HTX is kind of big too, but yeah, it looks like it's their second biggest in volume at least. So without Binance, it's able to get 7 billion market cap. It's able to pump ridiculously without Binance. All right. We do not need Binance. We don't need it. All right. If anything, we're going to build the equivalent of Binance within Kaspa. Highly doubt that this wallet number one would be Binance themselves, especially after like their whole thing trying to pull off, all right, yeah, just pay us 3% of this Kaspa supply, equivalent to around $42 million. I don't think so. What would be 3%? It's around between this, yeah, around like $40 million. It's ridiculous. And the whole thing with them ignoring Jonathan's tweet that has now reached 2.5 million views. Excuse me? Here we go talking to, they got the CEO, they got the co-founder, they got the CMO. I'm here adding them all, just adding them in the picture tag. Yo, Binance speakers, here's an interesting topic to discuss. How about, what does it take for a cypherpunk crypto to be considered strong? Technology? Community? Or pockets lined with cash? Is it only about money? Thank you in advance, because Jonathan just literally dropped the mic on Binance with this tweet, this letter, 2.5 million views. I mean, Income Sharks, this is a big account, even in support of this, of Jonathan here. This is a huge investment account. Like, they cover stocks and crypto. So for them to be in support, this goes to show that Kaspa is literally the GameStop of crypto, for the people, by the people, against this traditional finance, against the people at the top, against this corruption. This is Exhibit A. Just, they're listing an innovation zone, this green frog, while completely ignoring the leading technology of crypto at this day and age, and for the future to come. A lot more developments coming from Kaspa, and they're completely ignoring it. Why are they ignoring it? Well, first off, they don't have 3% of the supply, obviously. And second off, it's a direct competitor to BNB chain. So those two factors, the fact that they don't want to buy the supply, it costs a lot of money, and they don't want to have competition to their whole structure, their whole market dominance. Because if people realize how trash Binance BNB is, they wouldn't be using it. BNB is awful. It's proof of stake, proof of authority. It only has like 16 or like something around in there, around 15 validators. It's so ridiculously central. You can't get more centralized than BNB for a crypto. It's really not much different than a traditional data centers out there. You got maybe 15 data centers around the world. Like, bye-bye Binance. Bye-bye. Tell them bye, because they aren't worth it. They aren't worth it for us. What are we doing? We're deleting our Binance accounts. If you have one, delete it and make a little memo. They have a nice little memo thing you could put. Shameful not to list cash and ignore Mr. and Dr. Jonathan Sampolinski's tweet with 2.5 million views. It's shameful. So you shouldn't want to be using it either. If they eventually list Kaspa, I will purposely make sure I don't use Binance. I will make sure I continue to use Kraken, because they are the real ones. They bought their own Kaspa supply. They continue to support Kaspa. They reply to us and whatever. But the fact that they bought their own supply without any, and they're true to their word. You have Binance here like saying, even back in the day, they were like, all right, we're listing Ravencoin for free because they're OG and they're fair launched, or maybe a fair launch. They had no ICO and we like them, so we're listing them for free. So what happened? What happened since then? Huh? Is it because Ravencoin is a trash coin and it doesn't compete with BNB? Probably. Because, yeah, I mean, who cares about Ravencoin? Like, literally, there's no technological value behind that. It's not a disruptive technology. So, yeah, why not? Why not list it? Why not buy your own supply, gain some money? It's beneficial to exchanges for Binance to have these coins on there, because they're winning from trading fees. Yeah, basically just trading fees. And of course, futures is how they manipulate the price without actually owning any of the spot, any of the coin itself. And that's what they've been doing to Kaspa. Going back to Binance, why VProgs make Binance irrelevant? Dang, this is the hardest, sickest, this is the most epic Reddit post I've read in too many years. Too many. Because not just is it an incredible post, but it lays down some straight facts. All right. I really like this paragraph down here. I mean, go through and read all this, but now take the time to imagine what Ethereum's market cap would be if you combined it with the market cap of every single DApp built on Ethereum. DApp and also including L2s, chains, Uniswap, Aave, OpenSea, Chainlink. Even throw in all the other L2s. Throw in the L2s. Base. You got Optimism, Arbitrum, Polygon, AVAX, is that one of them? I don't know. Just throw in all the L2s. and put all that market cap into L1. Okay, yeah, I got the L2s, but the DApps. These DApps are worth a lot of money. All right, Chainlink is worth billions. OpenSea, Uniswap, these are worth, every one of these, I think they're worth like over $1 billion. Put them all in Ethereum. You're not going to get tens, if not hundreds of billions in market cap. A conservative assumption. That's talking just about the applications. Now imagine if Ethereum wasn't so fragmented, having all that liquidity on the L1 instead of all of these different fragmented L2s, you're going to increase the market cap even more for Ethereum. That's what Kaspa is doing with VProgs. So once you understand that, you realize listings, exchange listings do not matter. And as I show here, Monero does not even have Binance, and look how good they're doing as very, very much a cypherpunk crypto without the centralized finance. Heck no, doesn't need it. It does not need centralized finance. That's the whole point of crypto, cypherpunk. We stay away from the centralization. That's what crypto was made for. So it doesn't need Binance. Binance doesn't define Kaspa's value. The network itself does. We do not need Binance. We don't need it for exposure. We don't need it for anything. We just got 2.5 million views on X with calling them out for what they are. And everyone knows what Binance is. It's just a gambling casino of meme coins and trash that gets thrown on and listed just for a quick pump and dump. So every new DApp, every new app, every developer, every transaction on Kaspa fuels the same economy and pushes the same coin. That's what VProgs allows. Everything developed and built on the L1, and the potential is limitless. Limitless with zero knowledge proofs. You're able to do, like, it's phenomenal to think about all the applications you can build with zero knowledge proofs. Now this takes, it's literally the first scalable zero knowledge implementation on proof of work. So Zcash, they're doing zero knowledge to make it privacy, but they are not scalable. So it's a great concept, but Kaspa puts it to a next level, and privacy is just one application. It's just one feature that it's going to allow, and not as a different coin, but as an application on Kaspa. So what's it going to do? What's the benefit? How about the developers? Like, if it's not a coin, how are they going to be making money? Every VProg is going to be able to have its own little fee structure, a little tiny fee that's going to go back to the original developer, the person who created the VProg, the person or company or whatever that created the framework for the VProg, whatever scenario, it's going to be built-in fee mechanisms for all of that. And it's going to be extremely fair, and it's not going to have any middleman. It's not going to have a fee that's for the application and then a fee for the L2. No, it's all just going to be for a little fee for the application, and for the users to use it. It's going to be great. And then you're going to have provers of like basically node operators of the VProgs. It's phenomenal. And Michael Sutton had a great interview with XXIM podcast. It was very technical, but it went into some really cool aspects, and you get like a little bit of better idea of how VProgs would work and the mechanisms behind it. It's very interesting, but it's extremely technical. So if you're not so interested in like hardcore math and graph theory and all that, then I don't know, maybe not your cup of tea, but it's very interesting to see like what this alien technology is about. It's like literally hearing alien technology, seeing it. It's like you're in some PhD math course trying to understand and trying to catch up, like what's going on here. Kaspa is taking crypto to the next level. This is the evolution. This is literally the vanguard of technology. We're talking about the vanguard of network technology. This is not just the end game for finance or crypto. This is the end game for networks, for data networks, completely. A decentralized network, the most secure, most scalable. You could do literally anything on Kaspa. End game. This is it. This is everything. So you have to look big picture. You have to look long term. We're a long ways from building everything on Kaspa, but it's going to be possible. And you really have to sit in for the ride, because this is it. This is what investing is all about, is realizing what it is early in and sticking to it. You have everything here. It's building, and for example, Dagnite, it's already proven on paper, but it needs to be released and then proven in a sense that you can feel it with your own hands, or like you could transact with it with your own, whatever, with your phone. So everything's coming, everything in its own time. Jack Dorsey himself replied to a Caspian. You already know he's watching us very closely, and he's terrified. Obviously, he's terrified of Kaspa. Like, it ruins everything he's built throughout his whole life. Yeah, here BRT is basically saying, like, the whole Square accepting Bitcoin, it's, you're maxed at 15K per day, 50K per week. It's no different than the fiat system. He's like, bridges to start, as if that's a good thing. This is a very, very bad thing. It's like, you can't get away from the fact that Bitcoin requires and will always require bridging, scaffolding, L2s, like this whole system on Square. It requires using Lightning because Bitcoin cannot scale to the mass adoption. What's wrong with Lightning, you may ask, you may wonder? Lightning is not secure. It has multiple, like at least 5 to 10 attack vectors. Something Elliot was going in a lot of detail about. These attack vectors are known, but they're not spread. It's not known within people that use Lightning, but there's actually some major security concerns with Lightning. So that's why you hear people saying, like Bitcoiners, Bitcoin maxis, like, would you just store and keep your Bitcoin on Lightning? And all of them say, no. Why would you do that? No. Why would you? That's the whole point. If you wouldn't do that, why would you ever even use it? If it's not secure, if it's not decentralized, why would you even use such a thing? It's like using Square. It's like using Cash App. It's like using Venmo. What's the difference? There's no difference. There's literally none. If anything, it's even less secure, and it's less, you're not going to have your guaranteed monies back in case someone gets whatever. Like maybe with a bank, you'll be able to get some sort of extra little bit of support, perhaps. If the dollar amount isn't so high, maybe you'll have some technical support team to help you, perhaps. So the fact that he's saying like bridges is like a solution, especially for such a major application like this, like there's no different than fiat. We're going in circles here, and all of the Caspians showed up to respond to him because Kaspa is the solution, but he is not blind to it, is not ignorant to it, but he's terrified of it because it destroys Bitcoin, it destroys Lightning. It doesn't, I mean, like, destroy it or not, it's just the upgrade. It's the evolution. Like, Bitcoin's going to exist for as long as it can, as long as the miners can be paid, and then eventually it's going to taper off, and eventually it's going to not be able to survive. It won't have the security budget to maintain the network. Now I'm talking 10, 20, 30 years down the line, while Kaspa is going to absolutely continue to thrive because it has the ability to have the required amount of transaction volume to sustain the mining, to sustain the miners, to pay the security budget. So that's the difference with Bitcoin and Kaspa. Major difference is the scalability is actually a security feature within Kaspa, especially looking long term. Anyways, the fact that even wallet number 1 exists and that they have over 1 billion Kaspa, and the fact that continuing to accumulate at 4.3% of the supply, and the others are following suit, this goes to show that our time is coming. It may not be right now, but it is coming, and I'm thinking 2026 going into 2027 is going to be a phenomenal year for Kaspa. We have supply not moved, inactive for the past 3 months, so I'm seeing a trend here. So here we go. Finally, we reached the 4-year mark for Kaspa on the 4th birthday on November 6th, I believe it was. Yeah, I think November 6th, or it was either that or November 7th. But yeah, the 4-year mark, we finally see how much hodling. It's not that much right now, but it is going up every single day. So the 3-year mark, it seems like the long-term holders for Kaspa are continuing to hold. They're the ones that are maintaining their conviction, but the 3 to 6 month, they're not growing. The inactive supply is not growing as much of a higher rate as this long-term holders, meaning that the short-term holders, they don't have as good conviction as the long-term holders, and that's kind of clear. That's kind of obvious. So the short-term holders, the inactive supply, they're still basically selling the dip. They're selling on the dip. They're fearful. They're fighting, and they're not holding. Long-term, 1 to 2 to 3 years. You see the supply not moved in this amount of time frame is continuing to move up at a very fast rate, especially recently, which is good to see. It's very promising, and that means the OGs are still, nothing changed, that they're gaining conviction, as you should. So everything's coming, everything in its own time. hang in there and keep buying to HODL. All right, Kaspa's it. You already know. Peace out.